Your Excellency, sir, this state ceremony is convened pursuant to Article 115 of the Constitution to accord presidential assent to 8 National Assembly bills. Sir, the first bill to receive presidential assent is the National Land Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 43 of 2023. This bill is resubmitted following Parliament's consideration and assimilation of Your Excellency's recommendation on the bill earlier submitted, pursuant to Article 115, 1B of the Constitution. The bill seeks to amend the National Land Commission Act by repealing Section 15, pursuant to Article 67, 2E of the Constitution, which mandates the Commission to initiate, receive, admit, and investigate any historical land injustices, complaint, and recommend an appropriate redress. Your Excellency, the second bill awaiting your presidential assent is the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022. The primary objective of this bill is to amend Section 12 of the Principal Act and provide the requisite procedure to be followed by the registrar for registration of public land allocated to a public body or institution by the Commission. Your Excellency, sir, the Wildlife Conservation and Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2023, has also been submitted for assent. This bill is resubmitted following Parliament's consideration and assimilation of Your Excellency's recommendation on the bill earlier submitted, pursuant to Article 115, 1B of the Constitution. The objective of this bill is to amend Section 18 of the Wildlife Conservation and Management Act and putting in place the mechanism for constituting a Community Wildlife Conservation Compensation Committee looking into claims relating to injury, death, or any form of loss or damage occasioned by marine wildlife species, namely the shark, stonefish, whale, and stingray, as specified under Part A of the 3rd Schedule of the Act. Your Excellency, the next bill is the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2024. The bill seeks to provide a regulatory framework combating unlawful activities, inappropriate sexual content of minors, terrorism or religious extremism, and cultism, amongst other forms of cybercrimes, thereby advancing the gains made by the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Amendment Act. Your Excellency, the fifth bill is the National Police Service Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2024. The objective of the National Police Service Commission Amendment Act is to provide police officers with mental health and wellness resources, including counseling, and in every county, establish well-equipped centers in offices, camps, training colleges, and communities for police officers to receive psychosocial support. Your Excellency, sir, the next is an Air Passenger Service Charge Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 35 of 2025. The bill is amended to introduce the air passenger service charge on the air tickets on both local and international air travelers, and further to align with the state corporation reforms by transitioning tourism promotion to the Tourism Fund. Your Excellency, a seventh bill, the Virtual Assent Services Providers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2025, is before you for assent. The purpose of this bill is to provide for the legal framework to license and regulate the activities of virtual asset service providers and for connected purposes. The eighth and final bill, Your Excellency, is the Privatization Bill, National Assembly Bill number 36 of 2025. The main objective of the bill is to provide a regulatory framework for the privatization of public entities, to establish the privatization authority, and to comply with a court order that declared its predecessor as null and void.
We thank you for the gift of life that you've given to all of us. Thank you for the gift of a good nation, and thank you for the blessings that you've given to us. Mighty Father, this morning we recognize that good governance and sound legislation are the critical pillars of a nation. Father, as His Excellency the President assent to these bills, may these bills transform our nation. And
the third bill, Your Excellency, which I'm placing before you under the instruction of the Speaker for your assent, is another bill also proposed by a private member, the member for Lamu East, the Honorable Captain Mohammed Rueda Obo. Your Excellency, this bill is coming to your table a second time. The first time, Your Excellency, you required the National Assembly to amend the bill further to bring certain expertise into the realm of determining the compensations. This bill, Your Excellency, was first introduced again in 2023 and has walked through the National Assembly for quite a long time. It is proposing to include sharks, stonefish, whale, and stingray among wildlife species in respect of which victims may be compensated for injury or death occasioned by injury. Your Excellency, the 4 aquatic species will now join the list of 8 animals in the schedule for compensation. Hitherto, this bill, Your Excellency, our people who live along our water bodies felt that they were initially discriminated because compensation only covered those of us who live in the inland, and now everyone is covered. Your Excellency, the 4th bill to be placed before you is another bill proposed by an individual member. It's a bill sponsored by a member for Wajir East, the Honorable Dawood Mohammed. The Honorable Dawood, Your Excellency, is proposing to amend the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendment Act, Your Excellency, so as to prohibit the use of electronic mediums to promote unlawful activities, including terrorism, religious extremism. While moving the bill, Your Excellency, the member was also of the view, and indeed he amended the bill further, to indicate that any persons who use computers or modern technology to exploit our children, including matters of child pornography, will be brought before the law, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the next bill to be placed before you is the National Police Service Commission Amendment Bill. That is the 5th bill today, Your Excellency, to be placed before you, coming from a private member. That particular bill is sponsored by the member for Suna West, the Honorable Peter Masara. The object of the bill is to provide for the mental wellness and mental well-being of our police officers, primarily through the establishment of psychosocial support centers. The bill recognizes that our disciplined forces in the police go through a lot of pressure and that their work involves a lot of risks. It therefore requires the National Police Service Commission to establish psychosocial support centers throughout the country for purposes of supporting our disciplined forces working in the police sector. It also requires the Commission to also extend that service to the civilians who work with the police. The bill was initially introduced in the National Assembly in 2023 and passed with amendments on the 25th September 2025. It requires a commission to ensure that the support units for psychosocial support are established in each county police headquarters to make the services reasonably available and accessible to our police officers. The 7th bill, Your Excellency, to be placed before you this morning for your assent, is a Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill. That's another bill, Your Excellency, that has been proposed and sponsored by the leader of the majority party on behalf of the executive. The bill was initially published on 17th of March this year and passed on 7th of October 2025. It will be recalled, Your Excellency, that our nation had been grey-listed by entities that deal with financial licensing players in virtual asset industry. This, Your Excellency, was a discussion between the central bank, the players themselves, and the capital markets because of the expertise that is found in these two public institutions. Compliance with standards on financial integrity, consumer protection, and anti-money laundering obligations. It provides for licensing of virtual asset providers engaged in activities such as custodial wallet services, virtual
It pleases you, sir, you may also kindly present copies to the Attorney General for publication into law, to the Cabinet Secretaries for Interior and National Administration, for Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, Tourism and Wildlife, and Information, Communication and the Digital Economy, and also to the representative of the National Treasury for implementation. And all other members of Parliament present and all esteemed state officials in attendance.